Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Alex Yong, and I'm currently an ophthalmology registrar based in Northern Ireland, and I was a clinical research fellow in UCL from 2019 to 2020. I would like to thank NOAD UK for giving me this opportunity to talk about my project called Gene Vision, which is an open access website on rare genetic eye disorders. This project was jointly funded by Moorfields BRC and Retina UK. This is an outline of my talk this morning, which includes the introduction of Gene Vision, focusing on how did this idea come about, how we made the website inclusive for everyone, especially for those affected by sight impairment, and the purpose of the website. I would also highlight various areas of interest, and we will conclude with a quick tour of the website. I was fortunate enough to work with two supervisors, the main one being Professor Musaji, whom I'm sure everyone in the audience, or most of people in the audience, know about. She is a professor of molecular ophthalmology in UCL and a consultant ophthalmologist in Moorfields and the Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children. Her main research interests are genetic eye disorders, but also developing novel genetic therapies. My other supervisor is Dr. Peter Thomas, who is a consultant ophthalmologist and director of digital innovation in Moorfields Eye Hospital. And his main research interest is really incorporating digital technology and artificial intelligence in day-to-day clinical usage. So the idea of this website really stems from Professor Musaji's clinical experience, but it also reflects my own personal experience, and I'm sure most other clinicians throughout the country as well. When we often get patients who are receiving a new diagnosis for the first time, and especially one that is rare and doesn't have any effective treatment. And this is a vulnerable time for patients and families, and they often cannot remember what is being discussed in clinic. And when they get home, they have many queries which they are not sure where to get reliable information from. On the flip side of the same coin, the ophthalmologists managing these rare genetic eye disorders are unfamiliar with these conditions. And many departments in the UK do not have a molecular ophthalmology service which specializes in managing patients with rare eye disorders. Furthermore, there's also a lack of awareness on genetic testing, and all these factors would hinder a patient's participation in clinical trials. So the purpose of this website really is to create an open access information portal, providing reliable information to patients and relatives, and also healthcare professionals on genetic eye disorders, and at the same time being an inclusive website, especially for those affected by sight impairment. So during the early stages of this website design, one of our primary aims was to make the website accessible to everyone with a disability. And from this end, we are immensely grateful to Mr. James Buller, whom I'm sure many of you in the audience know, and his experience in UX and accessibility design helped us tremendously in making Gene Vision an accessible website. And he was also fundamental in helping us design our usability testing session. So we tested an early prototype with sight-impaired patients due to various inherited eye conditions, and we tested it using various visual aid software on a one-to-one basis. And we really just wanted to find out how well a sight-impaired patient is able to navigate our website and how readable is our content. And we used their feedback to improve our design. And since the launch of our website, we have continuously receive feedback, and we implement changes based on these feedback. So for anyone who is interested in how we did the usability testing, we wrote it up on a peer-reviewed journal, which was published earlier this year in January. Now, in terms of the condition pages, each condition are written in two separate versions, one tailored for healthcare professionals and one for patients, relatives, or the general public. But users can toggle between these two versions easily, and there is a table of contents at the top of each condition page to help users navigate to their areas of interest quickly without scrolling through the page. On the general public page, we mainly focus on things that patients would find helpful, such as symptoms, treatment, current updates on research, practical advice, and the support available. We also have links to both condition-specific and umbrella charities, and also a video, where possible, a video of a patient or a family member talking about their experience living with that condition. On the professional page, we have an overview table to allow clinicians quick access to key information of a specific condition in a busy clinical settings, but we also have other sections including clinical presentation, genetic causes, general management approach, updates on research, and links to charities. On our research section, we focus on talking about current therapies that are under research, such as gene replacement therapies, RNA therapies, or stem cell research. We also guide users on how to search for trials online. And for those who are interested in participating in research studies, we have links to more fields, or you can register your interest in our website itself. Now, we plan to update the information in our website on an annual basis unless any key findings or landmark trials are published in between. I would also like to highlight the gene card section in our website, which are mainly aimed at healthcare professionals. And these cards provide a general quick summary of a specific gene, highlighting the function of the gene, any associated conditions, the inheritance or pattern of this gene mutation, and any specific research pertaining to this gene. And I believe going forward, I think this will become more popular with more patients getting genetically tested, as this offers a more tailored approach to looking at genetic eye diseases. And finally, I would like to draw your attention to our chatbot, which we recently launched about 2 weeks ago. And this was created by one of the optometrists in Moorfields called Kishan, and it is an artificial intelligence-based system using natural language understanding technology, which improves its response with increasing interaction. And patients or users are able to interact with this chatbot using either keyboard or voice command through Amazon Alexa. In the future, we hope that this chatbot are compatible with Google Assistant and Siri as well, but we are in the process of making this possible. Now, I will do a quick tour of the website here. This is a video. So this is the homepage of the website. And as you can see, there is a navigation menu at the top. And I would highlight the research section here for those who are interested. And there is a search box in the middle where you can type in the term or condition that you're interested in. And the search results will display any articles that display the term you have typed in. So for example, here, aniridia, we're going to the patient page for aniridia, and this is the table of contents, which you can jump straight through. So if here, you can click on the overview section, which gives a quick summary for those who do not want to spend their time reading the whole page. And if you want to go back to the table of content section again, there's a button for that. And here we are clicking on the current research and aniridia. And again, in the same format, you can scroll through reading this section and go back to the top using the jump to top button. I would like to highlight the links to the various charities in this page, and also a video by Glenn talking about his experience living with aniridia. And here we are going to the professionals page of aniridia, and I'm going to show you here a overview table, a summary table to help clinicians access information quickly in a busy clinic. And we bring it back to the top. And again, we have links to charities so that clinicians can provide these to their patients in clinic. So if we go back to the home page, we will go to the chatbot page here. And this is a page talking about how we design the chatbot and the the general overview of the chatbot and a demonstration video on how to use it. And here I am clicking on the chatbot itself, typing in what is Aniridia. It's really like talking to someone. And again, here I am asking about research in Aniridia. And you can adjust the contrast in this chatbot function and adjust the font size as well. So again, we are going back to the home page. And there are other sections that will help users as well, such as this newly diagnosed tab, again showing the support available for patients in the UK, and how to get referred to a genetic specialist, genetic eye specialist, or a list of genetic eye services in the UK. So I'm going to stop the video here. And I would appreciate any feedback, queries, criticisms, anything at all would help us improve our website. And if you have any of these, please write into us using our Contact Us section at the homepage. And if you're interested in participating in any research studies, you can contact us through the same process as well. And thank you very much again for taking the time to listen to me, and I would be happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Alex. That was really interesting, and it's a really marvelous project that you and Maria and everyone, Peter and everyone involved has done by creating this. I think it's a fantastic thing, and it's really interesting to be involved with it as well. I was wondering, when we were doing the development and doing the user research and getting feedback, what was the kind of the biggest learning point for you? What did you kind of find most interesting? And does that have any sort of impact on you as a clinician in terms of how you think about your patients?
I think doing the user research gave me quite a lot of insight, because previously I've always thought about things from a clinician point of view, but never from a patient point of view, especially ones who have sight impairment. And that sort of gave me quite a good insight how users, internet or computer users with sight impairment actually approach what's the interface or the user experience for them, which differs quite significantly from what I normally would expect. And also knowing about the different charities has helped me, especially now when I see someone in clinic with sight impairment. I would think more about, getting them registered, telling them, having sight impairment, it's not end of the world. There's a lot of support out there. You just have to reach out for it. And the important thing is to give them the information to reach out for it. And I think that was my biggest learning point out of this thing.
Excellent. And you said it's going to be maintained. Who's going to be doing that, and what other sort of further developments are there going to be?
So in terms of the content, Maria will be the main person maintaining it in terms of the content, whereas the server will be maintained by a person that works with Peter Thomas. His name is Thomas. I can't remember his second name. I'm so sorry. But he's maintaining the IT side of things. And the chatbot, Kieran will be the person in charge of continuing developing the chatbot. And I'm just helping in the side if Maria needs any help.
Fantastic. And have you had any kind of any other feedback, any reaction to the paper that was published, for example, or from clinicians or patients? What kind of reaction has there been to the chatbot?
Yeah, the main feedback, because my contract finished with Maria last year, so the main feedback is what Maria's been getting, and the main things that I've sort of seen is, we need to add certain, various other conditions which we are working on. But from my personal point of view, which I've shown in my pediatric clinic, my pediatric consultants are quite, they're quite on board with things, and they've been trying to advise their patients to use this website.
Okay. Would you have done anything differently in terms of how you approach the project, or?
Not really. I mean, I think we did right. I think we did right by approaching yourself in the beginning, really trying to make the website sort of accessible from the ground up. But in terms of the content, I mean, it's always, I wish I had more time to write content, but everyone would like more time for something as well.
Yeah. So someone's just saying, don't know if it's So yeah, lots of really good feedback coming in about it, and it seems like a great resource. And yeah, I think there's more information that could be added to it. I have grand ideas of what could be possible in terms of information about Aniridia out there and publicly available. But it's a really great resource, and I strongly recommend everyone to reference it and point people to it. I think we probably need to wrap up at that point. So yeah, thank you very much, Alex, and yeah, everyone do share the Gene Vision website amongst both professionals and patients and relatives as well. It's really helpful.